You're listening to Miscast Commentary.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary, Coming Attractions episode. I'm Joe Finley.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And we come to you, again, not with a ton to talk about. There's not a lot going on out there.
No, there is not.
But we're here nonetheless. Some of you might be thinking, hey, I thought you said you were airing all the Marvel movies back to back to back. Well, people who paid attention and read our episode stuff would know that for safety's sake, for the us not having to do too many of the recordings and be able to spend time at home and do all that kind of stuff, we are spacing them out a little bit.
We're doing our due diligence, okay?
We're doing our damnedest here.
Just get over it.
Well, that's what I say. But in the meantime, we're here. We're doing a Coming Attractions episode. We resume Marvel next week, and then another Coming Attraction. You get the idea. So
do they?
So they do. They do. It's been a big week. Todd, you just went back to your trip to the sea.
I was deemed an essential service, not any job, just me.
Yes.
So I have, like I told you, I've essentially got a license to kill.
Yeah.
As I'm allowed outside. And the freedom has been amazing.
It is pretty nice.
I broke into the mall.
Yeah.
I just wandered around like those old people do in the morning. Mm-hmm. It was going back to work was great.
Yeah.
And it was, even though everybody that lives on the island was freaking out, I loved it. Being out of the house was terrific. And I loved every minute of it.
All right. Now, you were telling me a fun story about a rough
day.
My God. Hold on. But before we do that, we have to do now 50-50. I get this right. Here we go. Tales from
At least that was at the end. Well, anyways.
Yeah. No. So I wanted you to tell some
Tales from the sea. Okay, so first day back, all the people, because it's a car carrier, so everybody has to drive their own cars on. There's been one car a day. All we do is clean.
Yeah.
And the one day was absolutely absurdly rough. And they're like, Lake Erie never gets this rough. But of course, with me, yeah sure it doesn't. So I'm vomiting my fucking face off. And I'm standing on the car deck, leaning over, just oh, somebody kill me. First mate's Ralphing, Raw Dog down in the engine room, Ralphing, a couple other people not doing so hot. And as I'm leaning over the railing, my buddy Pork,
people on Todd's boat don't have names.
No. We're all wanted somewhere or another for crimes or whatever.
Misdemeanors.
Or missed alimony payments for all of our 55 babies.
Hence the guy's name, Raw Dog.
Every port I pull into, it's just women of every color and variety holding up babies. This is your baby! And we all look at each other like, whose? Yeah. Are you looking at me or this guy or Raw Dog or... Anyway, so I'm Ralphing.
Statistically, Raw Dog.
Yeah, exactly. Testicle. Yeah, exactly. And so I'm Ralphing, and all of a sudden, Pork walks over to me, no problem at all, and he's eating a plate of shepherd's pie. And I'm I just looked at him with bloodshot eyes, and I was like, get that fucking shepherd's pie out of my face. Please.
Yeah, because he's still polite.
I was like, please. Oh my God, it was awful. Once I Ralphed, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's that 0G that gets you when you hit this big wave and the boat's in the air still.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my fuck, here it comes.
Nature's trampoline.
Ooh, nature's trampoline.
Well, that was always my big worry because we were talking about going on a cruise next year. Who knows? Who knows when
You're
people
not
will
as
take
bad,
vacation.
right, as you were.
No, I'm not as bad with nausea and stuff like that, but I don't know what a sustained trip on a boat would be like for me. Cruise ships are pretty big, and it takes quite a lot to kind of get them going. But I don't know. It's
get them going.
Well, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, rocking, listing back and forth.
Yeah. So
the sailor term is listing.
To put it in a position where you would not come a knocking.
Yeah,
you get it.
Oh, shit was flying everywhere. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Coffee pot ended up under the table.
That's not where they go.
Oh, it was beauty. Yeah. Oh, it was great.
But yeah, so I've been kind of cruising for some movie news. Now there's rumors that apparently the X-Men will be introduced in the next Spider-Man.
Whoa.
After the credits scene.
Whoa.
So there not many more details than that, and I don't even know that there's any proof of that.
After the end credits, you remember like in that one where you just heard the ting,
yeah,
ting.
that was Endgame.
This one you'll just hear, hey, bub. And you're like, whoa, there it is.
That would just be the best.
You don't even see anything.
Just some random guy, like he dials a wrong number, and you just hear the guy go, "Hey, bub," and then he's like, "Hey," he's like, "Rick there?" And he's like, "No, wrong number, bub." And he just hangs up. And he's like, "That's the introduction to the X-Men."
Someone accidentally called Wolverine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Wolverine has a phone in this version.
This is Professor X's school for the gifted.
Yeah.
Bub.
Well, I have that.
Check your number and call again, bub.
I have that Xavier's School for Gifted Children T-shirt that I got, and it's got a spot where you can write your name, like those old gym shirts, like from the 70s.
All right.
And it's got that spot, so I'm gonna take. I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna take a Sharpie and I'm gonna write "Bub" in.
Bub.
And
Hey, Bub.
And then everybody's going to assume that I was the Bub he was always talking about.
That fantasy casting,
Yes.
Wolverine should be played by Ray Romano.
Hey, Bub.
Great.
Ow.
Just like a nervous.
Oh, they all came out of me again, and it hurts. Yeah,
Exactly.
I heal, I know, but... Well, everybody loves Wolverine. That's Brad Garrett.
Oh my God,
Cyclops.
he have to be Sabretooth.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
your brother,
Brother.
Sabretooth.
Here we go again.
Mom always loved you, Pat.
And Professor X is played by the mom.
It's essentially just episodes of Raymond
Yes.
where they dub over the names.
The exact
You're
same.
like, this is the X-Men?
Hey, Wolverine. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm on board for that. And we were talking a little bit before. They officially named sports in Florida an essential service, which included the WWE.
Damn right.
Wanted
Essential to me.
I wanted to get your thoughts on WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania happened. I enjoyed it.
I was
I
hearing
thought it was pretty good actually.
I was hearing good things through the grapevine.
The Brock Lesnar match was garbage.
What a
So was the
shock.
Goldberg. I'm like, Brock, could you not at least? You're getting paid millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Could you not have like really put on a good slobber knocker match?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing every time. If he defeats you, he dominates you. Done a minute.
Yeah.
And if not, vice versa. It's like
Yeah.
the guy just doesn't even put it in. I'm like, come on, Vince. Like, Jesus.
I'm only coming here for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
one
And
way
it
or
was
the
like
other.
apparently he was bitching and moaning too because they wouldn't let him go first because it was pre-taped.
Yeah.
He was calling Vince like selfish and all this stuff. I'm like, oh yeah.
God almighty. And then they had that Boneyard
The
match.
Boneyard match was awesome.
I heard a lot of people say a lot of good things
The
about that.
Wyatt match was weird. I didn't really like the Wyatt match. A lot of people loved it though. Like
Yeah.
the ratings for it was like A plus 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 plus.
Yeah.
Like I understood it, but I was like, I'd rather seen wrestling.
Yeah.
But I guess they had to protect John Cena because he's like a big movie guy now.
Yeah, was it
This
worth
big movie star haircut.
Oh my god. Yeah, his movie star haircut makes him look like he's playing a little boy.
Yeah, or like he's like a doll.
Yeah. That's his
It's like a doll haircut. Like
that's
an old
his,
Ken doll.
That's his I'm recording so you think you're smarter than the 5th grader or whatever. that
right.
show's
It's
called.
4th grader now.
Oh, is it? Thank
They
God.
ran out of 5th graders. They became
Jeff
6th
Fox-
graders, and it's like, what the shit now?
Jeff Foxworthy was running through 5th graders and they're like, okay, we need to change this up.
Exactly.
If you were on my show and in my green room, you might be a plaintiff. I don't think that Jeff Foxworthy molests. He just has a mustache, and sometimes you draw conclusions.
Exactly. A dirty old crustache. I'll take the ride on that mustache.
Oh, absolutely.
Fucking hey, that mustache got
man.
mad cash.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
It's okay, baby. Just mustache ride him for a little bit. Mama needs the money, honey.
My wife was reading. It was one of those things where it's like, you might be from Niagara if, and it was written as like Jeff Foxworthy wrote this after it's like visiting Niagara for like a weekend or something. It's like, I got news for you. He didn't write that. Somebody just ripped off his thing.
Yeah.
And also none of them were funny, just true. If you have to go down St. Paul Street to get to the courthouse, you might be from St. Catharines. like that's just like, yeah, that's accurate.
That was like when Buddy, it must be this year, when that stooge from Murdoch Mysteries came onto a boat.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's like all his jokes are like based on where he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't write any of them anyways because they admitted it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of comedians don't anyways. Like,
No,
whatever.
they
They got
pay
writers and
people.
shit. And it's all his shit is like that too. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you got a corn stand in the middle of July, it's Pele. People are like, I have a corn stand. You know, it's like, what the fuck?
He's talking about me. I'm famous.
Like they pumped in like fucking Joker gas during the thing. Just laugh at anything.
Nice. The other thing that's been interesting going on right now, a lot of TV from home. Saturday Night Live from home just happened.
Oh, yeah, with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks came on as the host. And
for his 85th time as host.
it was funny because I was hearing people complain about it. Like, I was hearing people complain about it, and then I'm hearing people who don't like Saturday Night Live at all going, good for them for, like, giving it a shot. Because, like, it's not like they were doing writer's room stuff and writing sketches all together and doing all that. People were just basically submitting shit that they shot in their own house.
Right.
Like, Kate McKinnon was Ruth Bader Ginsburg doing her workout, and she was curling Q-tips. And
Right.
it was fun.
I mean,
it lacked
what do
any
you want? I love
Yeah.
how people just, like, they can't even,
Yeah.
like, maybe it wasn't the best episode they've ever done, but at least they went for something new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus, people.
Well, here's the bottom line.
If it wasn't A+, then they're like, everyone's like, fuck this.
They-
Why don't they cancel it? This is stupid.
They made an effort to entertain you for free.
Yes, exactly. And people still complain.
You know, and it's just like, ugh. But there's a lot of that. Conan from home has been really good.
Oh, Conan's always good. Come on.
yeah.
Conan's going to be good from anywhere.
No, I know, that's true. But yeah, so I mean, a lot of those have been really interesting. And I guess they were talking about right now, I guess The Voice is in their early throes of they were supposed to start their production.
Ooh,
so
Katy Perry
now
could just be like in her bathrobe.
that's American Idol, you son of a bitch.
Okay, then Adam.
And she's pregnant with...
Adam.
He left the show, you son of
Levin.
a bitch. He's not on
Eugene
it.
Levin's son.
Yes, Eugene Levin. he's not mistaking him for Eugene Levy. It's just another dude.
Yeah, exactly.
But apparently they are thinking about doing that from home. They're going to audition remotely. They're going to, I don't know if they're just going to cover up their webcam or whatnot and then like reveal their face. Or I don't know what the deal is.
No,
but
that'll be
there's
for
gonna
the
some-
Masked Singer.
Yes.
Masked Singer from home.
Somebody actually, comedian Mike Kaplan tweeted, he's like, here's some other good ideas, like spinning off from The Masked Singer. It's like The Masked Chef and The Masked Comedian. And I'm like, both of those are awesome ideas. Imagine having any competition like that. If you got real
I'm sure
celebrities.
you could guess who the comedian was pretty quick.
No, because if you, like what they do with the singers, right? They sing, but then when they actually speak, they mask their voices. So they have like blah, 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 kind
So
of
when
voice.
they do comedy, it'll be like that.
So you would hear all the jokes.
Put my Batman voice on.
Yeah. But I'll give credit to my wife who, in about 2 seconds, called the one guy. The one guy came out and he sang like garbage and he was just dancing around and just being a douchebag. She's like, that's Rob Gronkowski. And that was Rob Gronkowski.
And it was the Gronk.
It was the Gronk.
Oh my God, watching him host WrestleMania
Yeah.
was like, oh my Lord.
And
It
he's
was
a
like
title
so it
holder
was
now.
like a guy who it was like Buddy introducing like the Special Olympics. Like, oh my God, it was like he could barely read. I was like, you know what, I'm doing the Special Olympics a disservice by saying that. He was awful.
Yeah.
He was awful.
Yes, because people with Down syndrome can read.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
I was
for
like,
them.
oh, it was okay. So it was like a guy who's had way too many concussions and slightly speaks like Mike Tyson with this weird lisp, winning the 24/7 title.
Hey, bro, I was a 24/7 title, bro.
Yeah, he's just like, who is this guy?
Can
Oh,
you
my
dig it,
Lord.
bro?
Holy
I just want to
fuck,
start
look at the
inserting him into.
Gronker.
Just gonna
And
start
why is-
inserting him into movies.
I never really understand why like WWE wants him so bad. Like the fuck is he gonna? He's the Gronker.
It's always like it was like the same thing. It just took me back to Lawrence Taylor for what was it, WrestleMania?
He did great. He
10?
fought
No,
Bam
not
Bam
even 10.
Bigelow and won
Yeah, but
with
like
a huge shoulder
but
tackle.
still, literally all he did, like I think he got one body slam in, and the rest was just
Sweet.
3-point stance into shoulder tackle, 3-point stance,
Just like Goldberg.
over and over again. That's the whole thing, and then I saw like one clip. They're like, here's a clip of like Gronk getting into it with some guy, and I'm like, let me guess, he gets into a 3-point stance and tackles him. You know what he's never done in football? gotten into a 3-point stance. He's a fucking receiver.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not true. He's on the line.
Yeah, he's on the line. They get down there.
Yeah, he's as a tight end. He's
He
on the
doesn't
line
have to get his
sometimes.
hand on
but
there, does
not
he?
very
He
much.
can just crouch down and then run.
Usually,
You don't have to put your hand on the ground. Is that like a rule?
I don't think he has to, but because he's on the outside, it's like the 5.
Oh, good for that Gronk. Somebody had to host Wrestlemania.
They didn't. They really
They
didn't.
should have Liberace again.
Oh my gosh! I was just trying to think of something to say as Liberace.
Liberace. The ghost of Liberace.
Yeah.
I love that wrestling has been deemed an essential service.
100%.
All the guys must just be like, fuck.
I know, eh? We were gonna get to go home, but the thing is, it's not like WWE was gonna give those guys paychecks. Speaking of which,
Well, they're on salary.
not all of them are they? Because
Sure.
they're independent contractors.
No, they all got deals. They all got deals.
Okay, but either way, they got no. Yeah. All right. Well, that's fair enough. Although I feel like they would probably go, well, no, because you didn't do. They'd find some
Right.
legal way.
Oh, guaranteed. Come on.
Because I'll give credit like Disney. They've laid off so many people because of all the parks being closed and all that stuff. But I guess they're letting everybody keep all their health care and shit like that.
That's good. Like, geez.
Well, so many people aren't. Like Amazon, they have they had a thing where, what was it? You get 2 weeks off paid if you get a positive test for COVID-19. But there's some places where you can't even get a test. So it's like you cannot, like you have to then weigh in your options of go into work with 104 fever,
Right.
or don't get paid.
Right. That's garbage.
So because your testing comes,
House of the Mouse.
and then on top of that, well, but like yeah, it's because the parks are closed, they don't have to worry about whether or not they have to go in, but they've all got their health care and shit, so they can.
As long as Mickey's got his health care, they should have a cartoon that comes out about what they're doing during the quarantine.
Yeah,
Like Mickey at home. 6 feet away, Minnie.
yeah, that'd be amazing. Sort of funny that you mentioned that though. They actually made a Pixar short. One guy at home doing all the animation, and then Josh Gad doing the voice of Olaf from his house.
Yeah, no way.
That was it. It was a 2-person credit. It was just a 32-second thing about, it was called like Olaf's birthday present or something like that. And he just opens up a box, and it was supposed to be a frog. There's holes in the box, and the frog was like on the underside of the lid. So he lifts up the lid and he puts it aside, and the frog hops off. He's just looking at the box, and then he just puts the box on his head. He's like, ha ha! Like he's just like, it was just a funny, like it was.
Right.
It was
Just
30
a cute little thing.
It was 30 seconds long. And
Probably
it was just
took
a
me
little
like
joke.
5 months.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine it did because
I wonder he must have had to call somebody and get okay to do that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure
Okay,
they
put this 32-second thing together.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I mean, that's all that.
I think what Josh Gad said it was tough for him to get back into Olaf mode for part 2 because he's a character actor, so he's got to like live in the snow and become the snowman. He watches that Snowman movie with Michael Keaton like 50 times.
Yeah.
What was it? What is that movie?
Jack Frost.
Jack Frost.
I don't think he watched Jack Frost. I think he watched that movie where that murderer
The snowman.
gets electrocuted. No, it was also let me get there. Where he gets electrocuted and then turns into a snowman, also called Jack Frost. They came out around the exact same time. 2 movies called Jack
with the
Frost.
murderous snowman.
Yeah. Two movies about a guy who dies and becomes a snowman. One is a family comedy and the other a horror movie.
Well, if you could
Both
call it
of a horror movie.
And the horror movie was actually way funnier.
Yes.
Than
Absolutely.
than the Michael Keaton. I'm glad he came back from that awful abyss he was in.
It was just I can't even explain. He was in like Herbie Fully Loaded and it was just like, he was in, like when you go through that period of time, he was in stuff.
Yeah, when it was like, "Gee, pay the bills, bro, pay the bills.
Like it was it was just that period of time, and I'm like, he didn't do anything to, like, it's not like he was in a couple of like huge bombs and people were like, we're gonna take a break from him for a little bit.
No, they were just like not,
Who is bomb proof? I think Johnny Depp is bomb proof.
No, he's made bombs. Remember that one with him and...
this is okay, so I should define what bomb proof. Bomb proof is you don't go into like actors or directors jail because you made a bomb.
Yeah.
Because he's been at a ton of them. But
he has been in a shit ton. But then he always finds that one, the Jack Sparrow or that one and this one, and then whenever he's back.
Yeah.
I think you need a couple real bad ones in a row. Yeah. Like Eddie Murphy style. But I still haven't seen Dolomite.
Dolomite is my name. What is taking you so long?
I don't know. I got other shit to watch. What am I watching right now? Zed Nation. What are you watching?
What am I watching?
I'm still
currently?
on it, for Christ's
I'm
sakes.
finishing Better Call Saul right now. I've been on that. What else do I have on? Watching a lot of like bullshit baking stuff. I'm watching Buddy versus Guy or Buddy versus Duff.
Buddy versus Guy.
Buddy versus Duff. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Buddy versus Duff.
No, Buddy versus Guy is way better.
It blows me
Buddy
away.
versus Guy versus Who's It's.
Yes, it's a fatal 3-way.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't know. The most of my time is taken up doing bullshit on Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I just started The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
And I'm very like, oh, it's like this big open world. And I'm like, oh, God. Like, I'm happy to be there, but in the beginning, it's kind of stressful.
I'm happy to be there.
You know? But
Yeah.
it's like, I got to learn how to do all these spells and, like, upgrade my gear. Yeah. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what I'm doing. I just want Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 to come out and take me away from all this shit.
Oh, I want it to have a name. Like, I want to be so excited about it that when they reveal what the name is going to be, you're just going to be like, I have to play that game.
I have a feeling it's going to be, you can play as Zelda. I think they're going to be split up.
It looks like, yeah.
But I will. What would be cool is if you could do split screen and you're Zelda and I'm Link in 2 different places.
Yeah. Or online or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
You probably have to buy 2 versions.
I
prefer to play it through myself as both.
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil 2 style.
That's the one thing I really think that Nintendo fucked up on. Like, if you have 2 Switches that are both registered.
With Animal Crossing. People are pissed.
Oh, the Animal Crossing multiplayer is weird. But what I'm just saying in general, like, say you've got Mario Kart. If I have 2 Switches in the house and like the kids want to play like multiplayer, you would have to have 2 versions. You would have to have 2 copies
separate
of the
games.
game.
Yeah.
I was like, that's stupid. If you're both,
You can play up to 8 on one.
yeah, you can play up to 8 on the one, but that's not like, well, no, you can play up to 4 on the one.
I thought if you had other controllers, you could do 8.
I don't think so because it doesn't split screen that many. I don't think. You can play online. 8.
Oh, you can barely see. I love how huge the TVs are now, and then seeing like the TV we used to play 4-player split screen Bond on. It was like your cell phone monitor.
I know.
And now it's like I can't even. This might work.
Oh, but yeah. We're looking at I've got a new projection screen in here, so that's what we're dealing with. But I'm just thinking that Nintendo should have had a thing where if 2 Nintendos are like registered to the same family in the same house, hooked on the same Wi-Fi, that you should be able to friggin' download the game onto the other one while the copy of like if you've bought a copy of the game.
That's insanity.
Like, I don't know.
You could just have 18 million copies. One person buys one game, and then you can
No, because that means literally every person who ever buys a Switch has to register it under one person's name.
Right.
Like, this is literally...
So if you're registered, I know what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
say you're registered, and you can still play it on a different...
and you have to be on the same Wi-Fi as the person with the game.
I think the new Xbox is doing
Yeah.
something towards that effect,
Yeah.
where if you got the game, you could play it wherever and however many people and pass it out, whatever, right?
Yeah, but I just think that would be a way to do it because nobody's going to be registering... Like my wife's
I just
cousin,
had to register as a sex offender.
There you go. No, but my wife's cousin, for example, who's got kids who play the games with Abby or Reese, they're not going to register their Nintendo Switch in our name. But it also wouldn't work unless they were on our Wi-Fi at the same time. Like, you know, there would have to be like there's a couple of things like hoops you'd have to jump through, but it would make it fair, meaning if you owned it in your household already, you'd be able to play it on
that would
screens.
work well because I always wanted somebody beside me playing Splatoon 2 at the same time as well. Mm-hmm. You know, we could have a split screen, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Because like,
I hear you. Are you listening, Nintendo? Because you ain't got nothing else going on. You better fucking listen up.
Because I mean, their multiplayer in a lot of ways kind of hurts because it's like if you want to play multiplayer on most of their games, you have to like use the phone app on your phone to chat with people.
Hey,
unless you have the actual physical thing in your hands.
If wrestling has been deemed an essential service, would the guys building the new stuff at the theme parks also be essential? Like, there's nobody really there, so are they still in there building Nintendo Land, or is it stopped?
I'm almost guaranteed they're not.
Nobody even there, and now's a great time to do it.
No, but they all have to be with each other, and that is a gathering.
6 feet apart.
Very unlike. Sometimes
they're always yelling, "Hey, fuck you, Will!" You know, they're always yelling.
It's true. If they are yelling, no, but
as long as they're yelling.
Yeah. But I know, like, construction, other than like emergency construction, has been shut down where we're at.
Nintendo has more money than God, and I have purchased the same games so many fucking times. I have given Nintendo so much money. I bought that piece of shit Star Fox game. I bought all these shitty games. Like, fucking do us all a solid, Nintendo. Just do it.
Yeah. Do what?
Do it.
Do what?
Do it.
No, but seriously, do what?
Do it sexy. Do it doucement.
Okay, I'm not going to get an answer, I guess.
Don't fuck around with this multiplayer shit. Hook us up.
Oh, okay. So, well, you started talking about the park. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, come on. Park it, bro. Just park it.
Park it.
Park that fucking attitude over there.
Well, I'm gonna. But eventually. But yeah, so what else is going on out there in the universe? We've been reading a lot of weird comments. Like, people, I think the extra time on people's hands is driving certain people insane, because I've read a new article every day about a different way that apparently the Rise of Skywalker ruined America.
Oh my God, yeah, listen to this. It did.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a spoiler alert moment, so if you haven't seen Rise of Skywalker,
I don't have spoilers.
Keep listening and have it ruined. So I just saw it on Peely Island, my fortress of solitude, which it's only in my mind, but I still like to go there every now and then.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching Rise of Skywalker, fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it, man. I thought it was so badass. And right in the very end, there's this moment where Rey looks, they're like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And then she looks over, and there's the Force ghost of Leia and, her incestuous brother, Luke. And it's not incest if you're a Force ghost.
It's true.
You've moved past those labels, people. Anyway, so she's about to say Lowenstein. I was going to say Lowenstein, but they wouldn't have gotten it right.
Yeah.
So they're like, "What's your name, honey tits?" And then she looks back at them, and she's actually a Palpatine. And she goes, "Sk," and I was like, "Palpatine." And everybody in the room was so mad at me because I ruined the moment that the entire movie was working up towards.
Oh, man.
Just fucking ruined it.
Yeah, it's just, it's been blowing my mind. Again, if you don't like the movie, that's fine. But, like, literally, people are dedicating their lives right now, their professional lives, to, like, just like, "Oh, and then they did this. Can you believe? And here's another way they fucked everything up." And I was like talking to somebody. Somebody was talking about
people don't have lives.
Yeah, somebody was talking about Knights of the Old Republic. What is that you're fucking with right now?
It's a retainer I found.
Oh, okay.
Out in some kid's mouth.
Wonderful. He's just fucking with the if there's anything Todd can just fidget with because he's like semi-retarded, you like
Ed.
There you go. Sorry. But I regret I regret using the word initially anyways.
I know.
But
I was too bad.
I know, sorry. I apologize for that. But anyways, yeah, people are literally like this week, "Oh, look what they did now." Or like, "What do you mean what they did now? The movie's been out forever."
Now.
And then I literally read an article going, apparently they've been thinking about they planned on Rey being a Skywalker the whole time. Okay. So you're now mad at them for
she's like an honorary Skywalker.
No, I know. Well, she just took the name. But what I'm saying is you're now mad at them for having a plan and following through with the plan. "I can't believe they wrote a movie and then they fucking produced it. Can you believe that shit?
What a bunch of nonsense.
Man,
they
edited it and everything."
The people that rally about things like this, it's just a movie.
Yeah.
And if you spend a lot of, your time like in the pursuit of just dragging it down, like you really need to reconsider things a lot. Like if this really puts you out, then you really should just put it down for a while
Yeah.
and probably start masturbating more.
Yeah, a lot
Because
more.
you need some time with your hands.
Todd and I do it all the time, and we are a lot happier than you.
Exactly.
But I do have another question for you, because this is something I got a comment. Somebody mentioned something about Knights of the Old Republic, and I just made a comment. I'm like, oh man, if they made that movie. And then somebody commented back, they're like, yeah, it's better they just leave that alone. Disney will just fuck that up too. Do you blame, say you don't like the current Star Wars movies, do you blame Disney for that? Or do you blame the people who wrote and directed the movie?
I guess it would come down to Disney. Really, it's their company. It's their name slapped on it.
But did Disney make the story that the people didn't like? Did Disney write,
No.
That's what I'm saying,
They were just
right?
like the guy who funded the movie, and then,
But that's what I'm saying, is they're sitting there going like, oh, Disney fuck. Like, it's not like they went to them and they're like,
as if, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like Disney went to them and said, everybody's going to be friends at the end. And it's like, well, our hands were tied and stuff like that. You didn't hear a single thing. Like, the only time I've heard about Disney kind of dipping their hands into something was for Avengers 2, the Age of Ultron. It's the only time I've ever heard of that. So think of like the 20-something Marvel movies.
I like, okay, here's a challenge now for all the people out there who bitch and moan because of what Star Wars did.
Yeah.
Tell us what they should have done.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you it'll be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because it's what you feel you want to happen.
Yes.
And that doesn't happen. This is insane. This is like women getting mad.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no rhyme or reason here.
No.
Your emotions are dictating your logic.
But by the same account too, they're just like, oh, Disney just fucks everything up. Yet they're the same people who are like, Avengers Endgame was amazing. Well, weird. So Disney doesn't get credit for that?
No, because they didn't fuck it up.
But what I'm saying is they take the blame.
But they don't get the credit.
But they don't get the credit.
Exactly.
So no, not acceptable. It's, to me, and again, Disney has very little, like, they own the companies that make the things. So Lucasfilm,
make the things.
make the movies.
It's true, they make a lot more movies.
No, but you know what I mean? Like they own Lucasfilm. Disney doesn't make Star Wars movies. Lucasfilm makes Star Wars movies. Basically, the same people who were working at Lucasfilm when Disney bought them are still working at Lucasfilm. So had Disney not bought them, the same people would have made the same Star Wars movie, just with somebody else's money.
Right.
That's what I
maybe
get.
not the same movie.
But essentially, because because Disney didn't come in and say, you have to make this movie. They bought Lucasfilm and said, make your movie.
Where could it have gone? Like, what would have been...
Amazon.
I don't know, like, what the hell happens? What would happen?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
isn't
what
it?
the frig even? What would you change that would have made it so much better?
I mean, and again,
more Jar Jar. That's my main thing.
But and again, we recognize that there's none of the movies are flawless.
You know what? In the end, and when you see the Emperor for the first time, should have taken his robe off. Jar Jar. Yeah. So pissed at everybody.
Oh my God.
Needs to help with battle. And then in the end, when they're like, who are you? She looks and she goes, Binks. She's actually what's his last name? Jar Jar Binks?
Yeah.
Or is his last name Jar Binks? Or is the whole thing? Is it like Madonna?
It's Jar Jar.
Is it like
the
Madonna?
First name. Because he says no again, Jar Jar.
Yeah, so his last name is Binks.
Yes.
So she should look right at the camera and went,
I guarantee
Binks.
I guarantee that's the first time that question has ever been asked.
It's more, no, I'm telling you, it's Madonna.
Yeah.
They don't want to say the last part. It's
Madonna.
Jar Jar Binks at all times.
Madonna is broken. But, oh my God, I would love that.
If I got a sarcastic tattoo of Jar Jar Binks, would it be cool or would it be stupid?
You need to get the one that Seth Rogen's character had in Fanboys. Do you remember that one?
No.
It was him. They were talking about Star Wars. He was the pimp, and he was talking Star Wars with the one guy. And and again, anybody who doesn't know the movie, it's them getting excited for episode 1 to come out.
That's right. I've seen it. I don't remember the scene.
And then they go to break it. So the guy goes and he's like, "Oh, you're a fan of Star Wars and stuff." And he's like showing off. He's like, "Here's my Emperor, here's my Rebel Alliance tattoo." And then the other side's the dark side. Then he shows his back, and it's a picture of Jar Jar Binks throwing like a gang sign up with, and I don't remember. My memory has Anakin in front of him, but I don't think that's true. I think my memory is altered for some reason. But he's just like throwing up gang signs. He's like, that Jar Jar is gonna be the shit. And like he's just like, it was
Like
so funny.
before the movie came out, he got a Jar Jar Binks tattoo.
And
I thought he played a Star Trek guy.
he
in the
also
movie.
played a Star Trek guy in the movie because there's a scene later on where they fight each other.
Right.
Because he's sitting there and because he was the Star Trek guy goes, Han Solo was a bitch, and then they have like a giant fight while they're in Vegas or whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna say something right now. If there was a Rumble,
Yeah.
I'd probably be on Star Trek side.
Really?
Yep, we'd be on opposite sides of this battle.
Oh God.
Yep.
Ugh.
I like TNG more than any Star Wars.
Really?
Yep.
I've tried watching TNG recently, and I could not get through
Did
it.
they say in that argument too that Star Trek has all the chicks? Doesn't somebody say that? Because they do.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Star Trek, every episode, there's hot babes.
Yeah.
Deanna Troy, some chick in the lounge, Whoopi. Like, come on.
The lead hot girl.
Exactly.
But yeah. Well, and she agreed to do the next season of Picard.
Everybody's in it.
Yeah.
If he doesn't die, man, this is going to be great.
Yeah. So they just made
He
TNG.
looks like a living skeleton.
He's doing right now, if you go on social media and stuff like that, you'll see he's doing a sonnet a day. And he's like doing like these dramatic readings like from his chair because I don't think he can stand. He's getting closer.
Cerebro.
He's getting closer and closer to the Professor X in Logan.
Exactly.
So hopefully things don't go too crazy, or otherwise maybe that's what's happening with COVID right now. He's like glitching out and everything. Oh man. But we were talking about Disney not getting credit for things, but let's give Disney some
Oh, yeah,
credit
they
for
got all the
something.
money in the world. Do you really
No.
need credit for things when you have all the money in the world?
Well, no, but I was trying to segue into our next week's movie.
Oh, shit,
fucker,
yeah,
but
get there. I'm surprised we actually went this long.
I know, right? I didn't think we'd have enough to talk about, but then again, you're here, so we're just... So anywho, next week we continue our Marvel marathon.
Dip or re-dip?
Our redip for Avengers Endgame.
Great.
Let us take a listen to the trailer.
God, seems like 1,000 years ago. I fought my way out of that cave, became Iron Man. Realized I loved you. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
The world has changed. None of us can go back. All we can do is our best. And sometimes the best that we can do is to start over.
I saw all these people die. I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
We will. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
I like this one.
There it is, the granddaddy of them all.
I like her too.
I like her so much. Oh, what? She's over 18, too old.
I cannot wait till the next Avengers movie.
I know. I want to see what it's.
Team.
I want to see what it's going to be. I really, really, really just want to see Falcon and Winter Soldier right now, and like, because to me that's the next like Eternals and Black Widow aren't the next development into the continuing story.
Right.
Eternals takes place so far away, and
So I think it might.
Well, there will be something that will eventually lead to something or whatever, but there's. Like Black Widow takes place in the past, and it might give you some little they'll give you nuggets.
They'll have a little thing here or there.
Falcon and Winter Soldier are going to continue the story,
right? The proper chronological story,
like Spider-Man Far From Home did as well. But like that's like I'm just waiting for the next thing to do that right now, and that's what I'm excited for. But yeah, that's it. And I tell you, I watched Avengers with the kids yesterday. Actually, for the first time, and it was just awesome. I just get the goosebumps when you get that. Like they're so good at making those moments where it's like that. What the first like assembled Avengers shot where it's like the Hulk and all them, and it's like the circular shot
circle,
around, and just the music hits. It's like everything hits at exactly the right moment, and just makes it so goddamn awesome.
You think they'll ever bring Joss Whedon back into the fold?
I think that he would still be in the fold if he wasn't so mad at them from the second one.
Right.
Because, like, it was just kind of like, it was like that situation. I think they could.
And, money makes everything all right.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Well, and I think, like, there's people who it's like, for example, the Russos. Like, they've said at this point, okay, yeah, we're done with this. But they've also said, yeah, but we'd come back if.
Right. If
kind of thing. Like, and they're not like, oh, we're sick of that. And they want to do the X-Men. But. It's not even that they're sick of it. It's just they want to move on to other things.
Exactly. They did it. Okay. They put their time in, they put their work in, let them go do some new things.
Yeah. And also gives an opportunity. Oh, that actually reminds me. It gives an opportunity for other people. And it reminds me of Taika Waititi, who just did like an Instagram live on Thor Ragnarok. And I guess he showed a page of script that was supposed to be from Thor Love and Thunder.
Oh, no way.
And then people were like, oh, he spoils all sorts of stuff. And it was like, it shows that Tony Stark comes back and blah, blah, blah. But then somebody got a hold of it and actually like looked at what it said. It was a completely fake written page where it was
of course, come on.
But I'll find it later. But it was like, there's basically a thing where it's like, Thor's like, Tony, you're back. He's like, back in the sack, baby. And he's like, but I saw you die. And he's like, how'd you come back? He's like, science. And also everybody who's dead is back now. And he's like, and now we're going to do more avenging than ever before. And we'll be called the Avengerers. And it was this big, long thing.
Right.
And it was just that kind of thing.
Oh my God, it's
like,
happening.
And it was just this fun Easter egg. Cause like the first thing was like, it looks like it's this. And then you could see like, even in the article I read, there was like, it became like an addendum. Like somebody was like, oh, they ruined that Tony comes back, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like writing the article. Then they actually read and they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to unwrite anything I just wrote. And then it's like, well, it looks like it's not actually a thing. So I know he's rumored to be in Black Widow. Black Widow takes place in the past.
Right. That'd be neat. That'd be a neat moment.
I don't know. I don't mind one way or the other. If they found a way to bring him back that wasn't literally just, I'm back now. Yay.
Science.
Yeah. But
whatever,
like,
that's good enough for the cartoons. Good enough for me.
Yeah, exactly. Like even who was it? Robert Downey Jr. was on Joe Rogan, and he was like, it's ridiculous that you're not doing more of them. And he was like, you should just instantly go back to Disney and just go, here's how he comes back now, and just you're in the next movie.
Right.
So yeah,
nobody can get over the death of Tony Stark.
Yeah, it's people want as many of the original Avengers around as long as possible. Like they don't want Chris Evans gone. They don't want.
It's a problem with American television, man.
Yeah.
Halfway through that movie, man, all of them would have died if it was a Britain.
Oh, if it was a Britain, yeah, we wouldn't even made it to the post-credit scene of Iron Man. It's like
before somebody new comes in.
Like, the last thing that would have happened is Iron Man was in his thing. He's like, I am Iron Man. And it's like, everybody's creeping out. And then it goes to the news story. And they're like, also in breaking news, Captain America died, Thor died. And they just start listing off all the characters. Yeah. And they're like, oh, and in breaking news, Iron Man died while on the podium of his own thing.
Yeah, and here's your new team.
And here it is. And then, like, as he goes to sign off, he dies. They made a great joke about that in Community. Bring it all back to the Russos, baby. No, there was a bit where they were, the one guy was really into Cougar Town.
Right.
And then it got canceled, so he was all upset. And they're like, well, we got this. It's Cougarton Abbey. And that's what it was. And he's like, that's what it was based on. And it was like on episode 6. And they're like, oh, it looks like they're going to foreclose on the Abbey. And there was like, how about we all get a nice drink of hemlock? And they're like, and they all just take a drink and they all just die right in the, like at the thing.
I love Downton Abbey.
It was so
I have
funny.
the last season. You just reminded me. I got like the last season I have to watch.
You don't love it that much then.
I know, what the hell,
man.
I gotta like pull the game disc out and put that disc in. I mean, what am I? A working guy?
Not hard.
What am I getting paid?
Yeah.
I do really need to get on that though.
Yeah, get on it. Just start multitasking.
I stopped at the exact same spot twice in my life, and I have got to get to the end.
There you go. What I've had to take to do sometimes, if I get like really into a game or something like that, especially because I've got the Switch right now, I'll just put the show on and then I'll just like fuck around in the game where I'm not like focusing on any real story stuff. I'm like just accomplishing stuff like I gotta get weapons or I gotta get this, and I'll just run around doing that nonsense. And then while I'm watching the show, and then when I cut up on the show, then I'll go and actually do the thing for the game.
Right.
That's how I gotta deal.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's finish this one up. I don't know what else to fucking tell you. Stay safe out there, guys.
Yeah, man. Keep it real. Stay safe.
Next week, the MCU continues with Avengers Endgame. Find us on Twitter at Miscast Podcast. I'm at JK Finley. Todd's at Miscast Todd. Instagram at Miscast Commentary, and I'm at JK Finley is there. And I'm at JK Finley as well there.
You have to type that in, actually.
But yeah, all those good things. Find us. You'll see our new updated website. Our episode guide is all updated as a blog now. You'll see our stuff for Binge Watchers on the Wall, which now we've got 2 episodes. By the time this episode comes out, you'll have been able to hear 2 episodes of Binge Watchers on the Wall. The next one comes out on Sunday, so make sure to check that out. It's on the same feed, so you don't have to subscribe to a new feed. But you can also check out you go on our website and find out where you can follow us on Twitter and all that for Binge Watchers as well. But for now, I'm Joe Finley. Todd's over there, I think.
I am.
They're easy.
Here he is.
Technology. All right, guys. We will see you next time.
Next time.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.